Okay, good students, how are you? So this is teacher Peter again, lesson 21, having a crush. Let's start with the review, general review for all the lessons. So let's see, repeat please. Awesome, guts, nails, bite, blood, victims, sensor, substance, moisture, warmth, phenomenon, encouragement, antenna, appetizing, parachute, port. To encourage, encouraged, encouraged. To regret, regretted, regretted. To reject, rejected, rejected. To moisture, moistened, moistened. To appeal, appealed, appealed. To bite, beat, beaten. To parachute, parachuted, parachuted. To water, watered, water. So I speak Portuguese and you repeat in English. Fantástico, incrível. Glândulas ou amígdalas, unhas, mordida, sangue, vítima, sensor, quem faz o censo, né? Sensor, substância, umidade, calor, fenômeno, encorajamento, antena, aperitivo, paraquedas, quadra. Animar, encorajar, encorajei, encorajado. Arrepender-se, arrependi, arrependido. Rejeitar, rejeitei, rejeitado. Umedecer, umedeci, umedecido. Apelar, apelei, apelado. Morder, mordi, mordido. Pular de paraquedas, pulei de paraquedas, pulado de paraquedas. Aguar, aguei, aguado. So repeat in English all this vocabulary, okay? So repeat, please, sometime. What kind of TV program appeals to you? What awesome movie have you watched recently? What would you have the guts to go parachuting? Would you reject an offer to study or work in China? What will you regret if you don't do at least once in life? Do you bite your nails? What is your blood type? Is it an appetizing smell from the kitchen that you love? What is an appetizing smell from the kitchen that you love? Okay, so I speak Portuguese and you repeat in English. Qual tipo de TV, de programa de TV que te chama a atenção? Appeals to you, te chama a atenção. Qual foi um filme incrível que você assistiu recentemente? Você teria coragem de pular de paraquedas? Teria coragem? Have the guts? Will you have the guts to go parachuting? Você rejeitaria uma oferta de estudar ou trabalhar na China? Would you reject an offer to study or work in China? O que você se arrependeria se você não fizesse pelo menos uma vez na vida? What will you regret if you don't do at least once in life? Você come as unhas? Você morde as unhas? Do you bite your nails? Qual é o seu tipo sanguíneo? What is your blood type? Qual é o cheiro apetitoso? Qual é um cheiro apetitoso que vem da cozinha que você ama? What is an appetizing smell from the kitchen that you love? Okay, so respond these questions in English. Responding full, respond completely. Okay, responde completamente. Não é só yes or no. Okay, so responde completamente. E now we are in this conversation here, the end of the lesson. Lembra que o recheio da lição a gente já fez, a gente só dá uma olhada e a gente presta mais atenção então nos exercícios que a gente não fez, né, para rever o vocabulário. vocabulário, então, aqui os últimos exercícios. Repeat, please. In love. Jeff has a crush on Cindy, but he seems to be afraid of asking her out. His best friend, Larry, is trying to encourage him. I'm totally in love with Cindy. And I think she is a crush on you too. Sorry. Okay. What are you waiting for? Go and tell her about your real feelings. I don't have the guts to talk to her about my feelings. Come on, man, don't be such a chicken. I think I would die if she turned me down. Even if you are rejected, it will not mean the end of the world. I think it's better than keeping it to yourself. Well, maybe you're right. Hey, can I be your cupid? I can encourage a date between you both. Okay, so repeat the conversation. If you have any question, just ask me about the question, okay? And time to talk now is repeat with, do you have a crush on someone right now? Number 2, what can you remember about your first date? Number 3, from what age is okay to start dating in your opinion? Number 4, do you think that age difference is important when dating? Okay, so I speak Portuguese and you repeat in English. Você está apaixonado por alguém agora? O que você consegue lembrar do seu primeiro encontro? Seu primeiro namoro? Qual idade é boa para namorar, na sua opinião? Você acha que diferença de idade é importante quando namora? Okay, so repeat again and then you can respond, okay? Do you have a crush on someone right now? You say, no, I'm not, I'm okay. I don't have a crush with anybody. So you can respond completely. What can you remember about your first date? It's a long time ago. I can't remember even the name of the girl, so I don't know. Okay, so you can respond completely. It's no problem. So now, listening, reading, and practice. So I read and you repeat, just for practicing, listening, comprehension, and speaking. So please listen and repeat carefully. So let's go. Mosquitoes. Only the female mosquito bites. The female mosquito needs blood to reproduce, and she chooses her vitamins carefully. To find her vitamin, she uses sensors that are located on her 2 antennae and her 3 pairs of legs. With these sensors, she tests your blood moisture, body warmth, and chemical substances in your sweat. If she likes what she finds, she bites. But if you do not appeal to her, she will reject you for someone more appetizing. So the next time a mosquito bites you, remember that you are chosen. You are special. Please repeat again, listen and repeat again, just to memorize and provide you listening comprehension, okay? And respond, please. Do you think you appeal to mosquitoes? What do you think? Okay, you have this quiz now. Can you name 2 insects that bite and 2 insects that sting? It's different, okay? So repeat, please. Can you name the 2 largest rivers in the world? 2 largest rivers. Think for a moment. Who developed the theory of relativity? You know? Repeat, please. What's the study of plants called? Let's repeat the question, please. Practice repetition. What was Albert Einstein's nationality? What is the Richter scale? What is the Richter scale? What is the Richter scale? Now I speak Portuguese and you repeat in English, okay? Você sabe dar o nome de dois insetos, um que pica e o outro que ferroa? Sim. Você sabe dar o nome dos dois maiores rios do mundo? Quem desenvolveu a teoria da relatividade? Como é chamado o estudo das plantas? Qual a nacionalidade de Albert Einstein? O que é a escala Richter? Repeat, please, in English for practicing pronunciation and memorizing vocabulary. And now I have a question for you. So many questions, 6 questions in it. Can you name 2 insects that bite and 2 insects that sting? Insects that bite mosquitoes, of course, and bees. No, mosquitoes and flies. Well, insects that sting, I think my opinion of this sting is about scorpions and bees. Bees sting, I think. Because it's the same category of thing. And can you name the 2 largest rivers in the world? One is for sure Amazon River, and the second one is Nile in Egypt. In the Gulf of Egypt, you can see Nile there. Who developed the theory of relativity? I think it's Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein theory. What is the study of plants called? I think it's botanic. What was Albert Einstein's nationality? I think he was Swiss. I think it's Swiss or Einstein. Which is the Richter scale? It's the scale that measures earthquakes. That's it. Referring to I don't know if this is okay, but I'll try to share with you because it's all you. Okay, let's see. We have here. Let's see if it's possible. Lesson. What lesson is this? I forget. 21. So lesson 20 now on audio. 3 lesson 21. There's a little bit letter 21.
start all over again.
Book 3, Lesson 21, Listening for Understanding.
Sometimes we regret for things we did or didn't do in the past. We wish we could start all over again. Listen and write 3 things Sylvia would do differently if she could go back to past times.
I would have gotten up earlier and worked harder. I wouldn't have spent so much on unimportant things. I would have spent much more time with my beloved ones. Book 3, Lesson 21, Listening for Understanding.
Right here to help you.
Sometimes we regret for things we did or didn't do in the past. We wish we could start all over again. Listen and write 3 things Sylvia would do differently if she could go back to past times.
I would have gotten up earlier and worked harder. I wouldn't have spent so much on unimportant things. I would have spent much more time with my beloved ones.
Once more.
Book 3, Lesson 21, Listening for Understanding.
Sometimes we regret for things we did or didn't do in the past. We wish we could start all over again. Listen and write 3 things Sylvia would do differently if she could go back to past times.
I would have gotten up earlier and worked harder. I wouldn't have spent so much on unimportant things. I would have spent much more time with my beloved ones. Book 3, Lesson 21, Listening for Understanding.
Sometimes we regret for things we did or didn't do in the past. We wish we could start all over again. Listen and write 3 things Sylvia would do differently if she could go back to past times.
I would have gotten up earlier and worked harder. I wouldn't have spent so much on unimportant things. I would have spent much more time with my beloved ones. Book 3, Lesson 21, Listening for Understanding.
Sometimes we regret for things we did or didn't do in the past. We wish we could start all over again. Listen and write 3 things Sylvia would do differently if she could go back to past times.
I would have gotten up earlier and worked harder. I wouldn't have spent so much on unimportant things. I would have spent much more time with my beloved ones. Book 3, Lesson 21, Listening for Understanding.
Sometimes we regret for things we did or didn't do in the past. We wish we could start all over again. Listen and write 3 things Sylvia would do differently if she could go back to past times.
I would have gotten up earlier and worked harder. I wouldn't have spent so much on unimportant things. I would have spent much more time with my beloved ones.
She wouldn't spend time.
Book 3, Lesson 21, Listening for Understanding.
Sometimes we regret for things we did or didn't do in the past. We wish we could start all over again. Listen and write 3 things Sylvia would do differently if she could go back to past times.
I would have gotten up earlier and worked harder. I wouldn't have spent so much on unimportant things. I would have spent much more time with my beloved ones.
So,
Book 3, Lesson 21, Listening for Understanding.
Sometimes we regret for things we did or didn't do in the past. We wish we could start all over again. Listen and write 3 things Sylvia would do differently if she could go back to past times.
I would have gotten up earlier and worked harder. I wouldn't have spent...
that's it. Okay, she would have worked harder. She wouldn't have spent time with important things. And she would have spent more times, não é to almost times, with beloved ones. Depois que escreve não dá mais para corrigir, né? Só apagar e corrigir de novo. But that's not important now. Okay, so let's go to the next lesson here. Is 22. Okay, lesson 22. Let's share again. Lesson 22. Repeat, please. Middle, field, hook, bucket, twist, reckless, portrait, dismissal, stems, suspicion, suspicious, clumsy, handy, stroll, first aid, extension, to prompt, prompted, to stroll, strolled, to muse, mused, to hang, hung, to aided, to chuckle, chuckled, to praise, praised, to cause, caused. Okay, very good. So repeat, everyone. So I speak Portuguese now and you repeat in English, okay? So repeat, please. Sorry. Campo, pradaria, prado, middle. Campo, field. Gancho, hook. Balde, bucket. Vento, ventania, girado, giro, twist. Irresponsável, retrato, portrait. Ou moldura também pode ser. Dismissal, demissão ou demitido, dispensado. Stems, hastes. Suspicious, suspicion, suspeita. Suspicious, suspeitoso, né, adjetivo. Clumsy, desajeitado, clumsy é o contrário. Útil ou à mão, handy. Pode ser também maçaneta, outra coisa assim. Carrinho de passeio, carrinho de bebê, ou charrete, stroll. Primeiros socorros, first aid. Extensão. Aprontar-se, estar pronto. Aceitar, aceitou, aceitado, estar pronto, estava pronto, estado pronto. Passear, passei, passeado. To stroll, strolled. Devanear ou to fixar o olhar, né? Refletir, refletido. To muse, ficar olhando assim. Né? To hang, hung, pendurar, pendurou, pendurado. To aid, ajudar, ajudei, ajudado. Ou to chuckle, gargalhar, gargalhei, gargalhado, dar risada, né? To praise, adorar, adorei, adorado. Causar, causei, causado. To cause, caused. Okay, very good. Talk time now, so please repeat. Is there a difference between a chuckle and a laugh? 2. Do you sometimes sit and muse on the events of the past? 3. Do you like stories with an odd twist at the end? 4. Do you always keep a first aid kit handy? 5. Did you ever get a ticket for reckless driving? 6. Are you very prompt in answering your emails? 7. Are you clumsy in the kitchen? 8. What do you do with suspicious emails? Okay, I speak Portuguese and you repeat in English. Remember, you have to do the repetition for practicing speaking and listening and memorization. Okay? Há uma diferença entre gargalhar e dar risada? Você algumas vezes senta e fica olhando e fica devaneando, né? Fica pensando nos eventos do passado. Você gosta de histórias com um final, uma mudança no final? Você sempre mantém um estojo de primeiros socorros à mão, ao seu alcance? Você já ganhou uma multa por direção irresponsável? Você está pronto, sempre pronto para responder os seus e-mails? Sempre disposto, né? Você é desajeitado na cozinha? O que você faz com e-mails ou mensagens suspeitas? Okay, respond in full. Respond it completely, please. Let's go to this. Test the acorn and the pumpkin. The acorn and the pumpkin, okay? O avelã, né? O avelã, acorn, e a abóbora, okay? The acorn and the pumpkin. Repeat, please. There is an old poem that tells the story of a philosopher who was walking through a meadow. As he strolled along, meditating on nature, he came upon a field of golden pumpkins. In the corner of the field, there stood a majestic oak tree. The philosopher sat down under the oak and began to muse about the strange twist in nature, like teeny acorns hanging on huge branches of huge branches and huge pumpkins growing on teeny stems. He thought, what was God thinking about when he put the small acorns on huge branches and the large pumpkins on the teeny stems? If I could give nature a hand, I will put the small acorns on teeny stems and large pumpkins on huge branches. Weary, he decided to rest beneath the oak tree and soon fall asleep. A short while later, he was awakened by a teeny acorn that fell from the tree up on his nose. Chuckling to himself, he amended his previous thought. What God does is done well. For sure, he is much wiser than me. So he praised God for his wisdom in all things. Okay. And talk time, please. Repeat, listen, and repeat, please. What do you think is the most beautiful thing in nature? What bad thing are people doing to nature? What action should be taken to protect the environment? What actions should be taken to protect the environment? Okay. What is the best place in Brazil to see or experience nature? Franca, of course. Okay, people, so I speak Portuguese and repeat. What do you think is most beautiful thing in nature? Qual é a coisa que você acha mais bonita na natureza? Speak English. Que coisas ruins as pessoas estão fazendo com a natureza? Que ações deveriam ser tomadas para proteger o ambiente, o meio ambiente? Qual é o melhor lugar no Brasil para você ver ou experimentar a natureza? Okay, responding through, respond completely, and then let's go to the next. Is listening and reading practice. Again, please, you listen and repeat. Okay? Why do you think so many people around the world are trying to speak English? I'll give you a few reasons. First, there are over 50 countries where English is the official language. It is used for business through traveling, and it allows you to interact with many new people. There are over 600 million speakers of English as a foreign language. Amazing. That helps to encourage more and more people to learn English. English is the most common taught foreign language. More than 1 billion people are in the process of learning English. And did you know that more than 80% of homepages on the web are in English? I didn't. Can you imagine surfing on the web without speaking English? Oh, understanding English? Okay, so this is a conversation. Now let's say Scott and you repeat Melissa. Then we invert. Why do you think so many people around the world are trying to speak English? Melissa? I'll give you a few reasons. Amazing. That helps to encourage more and more people to learn English. I didn't. Okay, very good. Now you are Scott and Melissa. I'll give you a few reasons. First, there are over 50 countries where English is the official language. It is useful for business and traveling, and it allows you to interact with many new people. There are over 600 million speakers of English as a foreign language. English is the most commonly taught foreign language. More than 1 billion people are in the process of learning English. And did you know that more than 80% of homepages on the web are in English? I didn't. Oh, you. Can you imagine surfing on the web without understanding English? Please repeat this whole play, okay? And let's try to make this conversation interesting for you and useful, especially. The quiz here, so let's repeat, please. When is the Earth Day celebrated? How many billion people were there in the world? How much of the Earth's surface is covered by water approximately? When it's estimated that the polar ice caps may completely disappear? How many liters of water do people need every day for drinking, cooking, and hygiene? How much has the surface temperature of the Earth gone up in the last 10 years? Sorry, repeat please. Again, I speak Portuguese and you can repeat it in English. Quando é o Dia da Terra celebrado? Quantos bilhões de pessoas existem no mundo? neste mundo. Quanto da superfície da Terra é coberto por água, aproximadamente? Quando é estimado que as capas de gelo no círculo polar podem completamente desaparecer? Quantos litros de água as pessoas precisam para beber todos os dias, cozinhar e fazer higiene? Quanto que a temperatura da Terra subiu nos últimos 10 anos? Okay? So that's it. This is lesson 22. So let's go to lesson 23. Okay, people. Lesson 23. Okay, repeat, please. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, so lesson 23. Repeat, please. Wrinkles, pimples, freckles, breast, makeup, smooth, handle, gift, power, pottery, squirrel, somewhat, loose, nuts, jar, dice, weird, bones, together, gathered, to drop it, to delighted, to starve, starving. Please repeat every one of these words here. Repeat and repeat and repeat. Then you can listen to me and repeat, okay? So talk time. Repeat, please. Did you ever have pimples on your face? What causes pimples? What are some ways that you use to prevent wrinkles? Have you ever had freckles or dots or remove it? Do you think it's okay for men to wear makeup? What does a potter do? What are you lucky when you play dice games? What does the old saying, a penny saves a penny earned, mean? So I speak Portuguese now. Please translate it in English. Read the sentence in English. Você já teve você já teve alguma espinha no seu rosto? Mas eu acho que antes a gente volta para lá, eu falo em português, I speak Portuguese and you give me in English, ok? The vocabulary. Vamos lá primeiro. Rugas, espinhas, sardinhas, sardas, né? Busto ou peito, maquiagem, suave, a mão, pode ser também maçaneta, pode ser alça de bolsa, tudo que você segura com a mão pode ser handle. Elevação, levantamento, né? Levantar. Potter é olheiro, pottery é cerâmica, pottery. Squirrel é esquilo. Somewhat, de alguma forma. Loose, somewhat pode ser um pouco também, mais ou menos. Loose, folgado, solto. Nuts, castanhas, né? Nozes, perdão. Jar, jarra mesmo. Dice. Eu devo falar em português, vocês falam em inglês, desculpa de novo. Dados, dice. Esquisito, weird. Ossos, bound. Reunir, reuniu, reunido, together. Ajuntar também pode ser. To drop, drop, drop it. Derrubar, derrubei, derrubado. To drop, drop, drop. Desfrutar, desfrutei, desfrutado. To delight, delight, delight. To morrer de fome. Morri de fome, morreu de fome. Morrido de fome. To starve, starved, starved. Agora sim. Now continue here. Você já teve espinhas na sua face? Did you ever have pimples on your face? O que causa espinhas? What causes pimples? Quais são algumas formas de você usar, que você usa para prevenir espinhas? Você já teve sardas ou manchas removidas? Não pense que... Você acha que está ok para... que está tudo bem se o homem usar maquiagem? O que faz o oleiro? O que você tem sorte quando joga dados? Brinca de jogar dados. O que diz, o que o velho ditado, um centavo economizado é um centavo ganho, significa? O que esse ditado significa? Okay, good students, please repeat. Vamos dar sequência. Okay, very good. Lesson 24. No. Lesson 23. The next page. Next page is, let's go, time for a lift. Ok? Então, hora de fazer uma levantada. Como é que fala? Eu não sei como faz cirurgia plástica para relevantar um aumento, levantamento. Mas lift é aumentar, elevar. Né? Elevar, suspender, levantar. Time for a lift. Repeat, please. In her early 50s, Sylvia is becoming more and more bothered about the wrinkles in her face. She wants to have plastic surgery to improve some imperfections. So she can feel better about herself. Her husband, Mike, on the other hand, is kind of reserved about it. I'm seriously thinking about having plastic surgery, darling. Crazy. I think you're perfect. Look at my eyes. They are puffy, and my eye bags are dark and full of dark lines and circles. Look at these wrinkles on my forehead and these little bumps on my face. I really need surgery to improve and all these imperfections. I think that makeup would be enough. I am getting older and uglier. How I miss the old days when my skin felt so bad, so baby smooth. And I'd suggest you just get a facial cleaning. And I do think nobody has this to sustain your youth forever. Be that as it may, I'm ready for a lift. What I want you to know that I think you are attractive just the way you are. Oh, this is the perfect husband. Okay. So listen and repeat, please. And let's go on to the next. Why is it called piggy bank? Do you have a piggy bank? Tem porquinho? Tem cofrinho em casa? Why it's called piggy bank? So repeat, please. People, many children look to save coins, mainly children, like to save coins in a piggy bank. Both who invented the piggy bank. But who invented the piggy bank? According to one theory, during the Middle Ages, various households were such dishes, pots, and jars were when people, sorry, let's start again. People, mainly children, like to save coins in a piggy bank, but who invented the piggy bank? According to one theory, during the Middle Ages, various household wares, such as dishes, pots, and jars, were made of a type of clay called piggy. When people could have some coins, they would drop it into one of their clay jars. They called this their piggy bank, something like a clay bank. Hundreds of years later, the word piggy means a kind of clay, meaning a kind of clay was forgotten. When English potters in the 19th century received requests for piggy banks, they understood pig banks. So they produced banks in the water in the shape of a pig. Another theory is that in Germany and surrounding countries, the pig was a symbol of good luck, and hence keeping money in a pig bank, would bring good fortune. Do you believe that? Do you save your pennies from a rainy day? Do you save your pennies from a rainy day? It's an expression to say, você guarda dinheiro para um dia chuvoso, para um tempo difícil, para um momento de necessidade? That's it. Okay, that's the quiz. Repeat, please. How many dots are there in the total on one dice? 32, no? Okay, 32, I think. What starts with T, ends with T, and has T in it? What is glass made of? Which country is called the land of the rising sun? What is the nickname of New York? In what year did the Berlin Wall come down? Repeat, please. Listen to me and repeat several times to memorize the pronunciation, the vocabulary. Okay, and the listening comprehension too. I speak Portuguese now. Quantas pintas pretas, né? Quantas pintas tem em dado? How many dots are there in total in the dice? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, forget. I lost the count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 21, I think, 21. What starts with T, ends with T, has T in the middle? O que tem, começa com T, finaliza com T e tem T dentro. Só que o T dali é o tea, de chá, né? Então é o teapot. Teapot. What's the glass made of? do que um óculos, do que um vidro é feito? The glass is made of sandy. Qual país é chamado a Terra do Sol Nascente? Japan. Okay. Qual é o apelido de Nova York? Nickname, Nova York's New York nickname is nickname is Big Apple, a grande maçã. Não sei porquê. The Big Apple. In what year did the Berlin Wall come down? Ou em qual ano o muro de Berlim desabou, foi para baixo, né? Foi derrubado? 1994? 1994? Acho que é. 1994. Okay, very good. So, let's see now. Ok. Então, agora já foi a lição. Foi a lição 23, né? Ok. E a gente, então, tem... Oh my gosh, onde está? Sorry. Uhum. Ok, gente, então tá na lição. Ok, a gente está na lição 24 agora, a gente vai dar uma paradinha, daqui a pouco eu volto para vocês com um novo